And welcome to episode 243 of the Coin Show podcast. I'm Mike,
And I'm Matt.
and we have probably one of the biggest news stories and the biggest shows for you that we've had in a long time. But before we get to that,
Yeah.
we've got the news, and we are going to have, I think, an epic slugfest for coolest thing.
Some of them lately have been one-sided or the other-sided. This one, it's going to be a.
I usually don't know what you've brought,
Yes.
and this time I know.
Yep.
But you always know what I've brought.
That's right. I always pick mine first, though, just to make it fair.
I don't know. You're fair. I'm not saying that, but yeah. So all that is coming up. But first, as always, the news.
Who's it brought to us by?
And the news is brought to us by Hiccups. Nobody likes us, so we're going to continue sneaking up on you just because. Hiccups.
What? Tiny stomach contractions.
That's right.
Telling you you've eaten too fast for
So
millennia.
let's not bury the lead. The possible end of the Lincoln scent is huge. It's huge.
Huge.
But it's my hope to detour that part of the story for just a couple of minutes. We'll talk about it in depth right after the news. So, although none of us can remember it, this would not be the first denomination that's ever been discontinued.
We were talking about this in the office the other day. We tried to name them all, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, you got your half cent, your half dime, 2 cent, 3 cent, silver dollar, right?
Yeah.
All gold coins.
Yep, you got your 20-cent piece, your 2.5, your $1, your $1 gold piece, your 2.5, your 5, your 10, your
all
20.
your gold.
Yeah.
You know? So
20-cent piece.
Mm-hmm. The 20-cent piece I missed. Good catch. Silver 2 and 3, or silver 3 and nickel 3 and silver and 2 and all that stuff.
But these are all things that were issued for a reason, and then that reason kind of went away. So that was why a lot of them were discontinued. This is a little different.
Right. This if you want to call it it's going to reduce cents to a rounding error.
Right.
Because I mean that's pretty much what's going to see. Here's the thing is a lot of times people go flying off the handle about stuff without really either knowing what's going on or having asked the right questions, right? So if you want to look at like Canada is a good place to look because they eliminated their cent 13 years ago, right?
But they completely totally is she gone eliminated it.
No, they eliminated it. But what they did was they instituted rounding, but it goes in both directions.
Yeah.
And the people that I've heard this week is, well, they're going to round everything up. No, they're not.
No.
It's like they will round some up.
The only thing that you're going to really notice is things are not going to be $9.99 anymore.
Well,
they're going to be $9.95.
I think you're wrong. Because at the end of the day, credit card transactions are not going to change. That's what I think is really going on is that in cash transactions, there will be rounding. But if you think about how many cash transactions you make over the course of a day,
I don't disagree with you. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, though.
So we'll talk about the gaping hole in our heart that is the cent. But we'll do it later. If you are in the Southeast U.S. and you want to see a fairly large show, the ANA's National Money Show is going to be in Atlanta, February 27th through March 1st.
Yep.
So that's 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that our very own Russ Bega is going to be giving a money talk.
Ooh.
So he's going to be giving money talk on Tales from the Counter. So he's going to be talking about, let's see, I got a list of it actually, because I was asking him about it. He's going to talk about, there was a horse medal that came into the shop that turned out to be unique. There was a counterfeit quarter that Barry brought that we were able to do the research on. And the Masonic half.
That thing was cool.
That was really cool. So it's like, and these are just, bigger points to some of the stuff that he's going to have. So one, if you'd like to meet Russ, and he's a fascinating and very good looking guy, Go check him out. Check out his Money Talk in Atlanta at the ANA show. I don't know what the hell that was. Go see him at the ANA show. Even if you just want to bask in his rustness, that's
Yeah, I also talked to a couple other friends of the show. I talked to Ben the Coin Geek the other day, and he's actually going to the show. So very interesting.
Cool.
Very interesting. So I unfortunately don't get to go. We're in the middle of a remodel / expansion in my office and bringing in new staff and expanding the store. So I'm staying home to take care of that.
I don't really travel to a lot of shows. Somebody's got to stay and watch the house.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Whatever. Conservation and recycling are themes for some sixpence at the Trial of the Picks.
Okay.
So the Trial of the Picks, look, it's a really cool tradition that's been going on since the Middle Ages, right? Where they take the coin of the realm in Britain and it's brought and it's tested, and the alleged threat of if it doesn't work out to par, if it's not up to the standard, then the moneyer is going to get his hands chopped off.
That's my favorite part of that. Like that whole
It's my favorite part. Maybe why they keep it going, but there's really not a lot of that anymore. But they actually do all of the bullion coins that they do nowadays to make sure as kind of a ceremonial thing, and then they get kind of the seal of approval and stuff like that. It's a good way of showing off what people make.
Yeah. I mean, I think
these coins are going to be made from recycled silver that is taken from old photo negatives and from other recycled.
Oh, that's kind of cool. That's the first I think I've heard of that, where they've actually like made it known that you're getting recycled silver. Because I mean, a lot of silver does get recycled, and I'm sure it ends up all over the place. We just never know about it.
Yeah, this is going to be made from silver recycled from expired medical and industrial X-ray films.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Look, I'm on board anytime you want to recycle stuff, especially that kind of stuff. But it does make me think about the blood bars.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of the same. I'm sure they have a much more safe way of doing it, right?
Yes, I think they've got it figured out now.
Oh, sure. And speaking of things that have been done for way too long now, the United States Mint has announced the release of the final coin in the Platinum Proof series, celebrating 5 freedoms of the First Amendment. I don't mind so much that they do a exclusive reverse for proof coins, but I'm not sure that the subject matter really relates to platinum.
No, not at all. I mean, they have it's not even a charter oak; it's just an oak tree on the back of this one, and obviously that hecka cool looking eagle. I mean, yeah, meh,
right.
Yeah, it's just they're just making that coin because they're required to.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is they're why do you ever see anybody buying proof platinum?
No, never.
The mintage numbers for these things are just minute, almost non-existent. And do they have to make them?
I believe they are required to make these coins of bullion. Yeah,
they've got a huge premium on just the bullion ones too. Platinum.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're kind of. I mean, platinum itself has since fallen off. I mean, it's under $1,000 an ounce, and is not.
It's crept back up to almost 1,000. It's like 990 something.
Yeah, and when they first started this Platinum Eagle program, they were cheap as well, but then they went nuts in the middle of the program, and that was really drove the sales of them. And now we're back to kind of like ho-humsville when it comes to platinum, with gold being the star and silver being the star. And
I don't know how anybody could buy the gold eagles, the proof gold eagles.
It's nuts, ain't it?
Well, I mean, if you're talking $2,900 gold, they're going to be charging like $3,200 for a proof ounce.
I know. Maybe it'll make it for a low mintage year. I mean, hard to say. Not that anybody's going to care all that much, but that's the one. I guess the silver lining to that cloud.
Let's see. Here's an item. The more I think about it, the more I like it. So, I am not a fan of these kind of coins. These coins were made, to celebrate the Beatles, and these were literally Paul McCartney's coins. So they gave him these coins, the British Royal Mint, in order, to kind of gain his endorsement for
Excuse
doing
me,
it.
this is Sir Paul.
I
He
said,
is a knight of the realm, my friend.
these are Paul McCartney's. So KBE, okay, are you okay with that? But anyway, so these were the ones that were presented to Paul, and now he's selling them. So while I am not a fan of these kind of coins, if you're going to have a Paul McCartney coin, wouldn't you want to have Paul McCartney's Paul McCartney coin?
I agree. I think that is the way to go. Yeah. They're super cool looking too. I mean, not that I think
They're
they're just,
huge.
are they metals? I think they're just metals,
Yeah,
right?
they're silver and yeah. Well, I don't know if they're metals or coins.
No, it says among them, the 5 kilogram gold piece stands as the largest proof gold coin ever produced in the Mint's Music Legend series. So I guess it's a coin.
How big is it?
5 kilo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's got 1.4 million in gold in it.
Is it really that much? No.
5 kilos.
32.
Kilos about 250,000.
32.15 times 5. That's 160 ounces times, say, 2,900. That's $466,175
Per
$500,000.
yeah, $500,000. Isn't that what I said?
No.
Oh, sorry. My math was too fast.
You're mathing wrong.
Yeah. They told me there would be no math.
No, but that's cool. I mean, that's a neat story. I think those are interesting, and it'd be interesting to see what they bring. I wonder if it comes with like if he signed them or anything. I think the one shows a signature, but I'm not sure if that's his.
Even the provenance from the auction, that these belonged to Sir Paul McCartney.
Sure. Understood and interesting.
All right. So let's see. This is the one that I really want to see the story from because VaultBox just launched a new series.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention.
So the question I have for it, is quite literally, does it hurt the hobby more or help the hobby more by kind of leaning into this chase aspect of collecting today? It's like it doesn't seem to me like people collect things in the same way that they did when I was young, right? And can you say that this is just a new method of collecting? Is that people, are looking for the adrenaline rush or the thrill of opening up that big money coin? Or
it's exactly what it is. It's the thrill of the hunt. It's like scratching a lottery ticket or betting on a horse or sticking money in a slot machine or throwing the dice. I mean, that's just
at the end of the day, it's really not going to damage the hobby, though.
It's hard to say. I don't know. I mean, there are people out there that I know, are getting addicted to things like gambling games on whatnot. I mean, people are dropping tons of money, and this is a very similar thing. So,
yes,
I mean,
it's indicative of our society right now. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know. I quit caring about that stuff.
So what are the big hits on this series? This is what I wanted to see.
I mean, I think they have. Let's see, read the story here. 1915 Panama Pacific 50 graded NGC 64. So that's like $100,000. I mean, there's $100,000 coin that you could get in a box that cost you what, $500, $1,000? I don't know. I don't know what this VaultBox went out as.
These I think are like I thought they were way cheaper.
Let me see here. I'm trying to see if they don't show us their issue price, but I guess not.
Nope.
No,
because so many of the people who sell these for they auction.
No, I'm talking about just the original issue price from VaultBox. I mean, they
value the pan pack at $100,000.
Yeah.
So, but from what I understand, and I think it was Seth Chandler was saying that there's going to be more chase this time, which means that there's going to be fewer hits, but the hits are going to be big.
Well, of course, yeah, and that's how. Well, I don't want to get too far into it.
Well, so here's the thing, and it's like here we get the back and forth. Taffy did make it. There you go. So M. Love Mo says the return on investment will always be a big incentive in the coin hobby. Well, I think you're mixing investment and hobby.
Yeah. There's no
'Cause
investment here. This is
yeah,
a
never
strictly
the coin
gamble.
shall meet. This is gambling.
Yeah.
This is like lottery tickets.
Yep. Those are pull tabs or lottery tickets. This is what you
Yeah.
get.
Yeah, it's
So
going into the bar and taking a shot at pulling the thing out of the,
Yep. 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 That's what it is. And that's where we're at in the industry right now. Like it or not, here we are.
and while at first I was really, really offended by the whole idea, I didn't think it was a great idea. I really have gotten to the point where it's like, I don't think it's gonna hurt the hobby.
I'm
I
not
think
sure I
it's
agree
just
with
gonna
you.
ultimately be well, see, my thing is I think that this is more indicative of the way that people are now, and so,
But
uh,
do we
it's
do
not the
we
pastoral hobby it used to be.
Yeah, I get that, but do we want to popularize the degenerate gambler attitude that a lot of people
No,
have
but
these
are
days?
we gonna stop it?
I don't see why we would wanna foster that, but okay.
Well, I
Whatever.
mean, I think that certain people are leaning into it simply because there's a lot of money
Well,
to be
yeah, I mean,
won.
money drives
So
all,
there's
and
right,
they
and
wouldn't be
there's the
doing these things
question
if they
is
weren't profitable for them.
yeah, there's the question is at what point does it become harmful?
I mean, most people when they think, if you have disposable income and you wanna buy something like this, good for you, awesome. Just like anybody that wants to buy a lottery ticket or anything like that, good for you, good for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're
I
saying
hope
that a
you win.
$100,000 pan pack is never gonna be in your budget
Oh,
but you can take a couple of shots at it, then go for it.
I hope you win,
Yeah.
but don't count on it.
Oh, and only one person's going to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people this is not a forever system either. This is a finite amount of times that people are going to get nothing or get skunked on these boxes before they're done, and I think we're starting to see that now. Maybe not. We'll see.
See, I don't know if it's me and my exposure to gamblers over the years, but in my world, gamblers take loss way better than that. They're like, the fact that they have anything when they're done is way better than having nothing. So I think that even, in these chase aspects, it's like they're just playing and they're having fun playing. And at the end of the day, they really don't care what they have.
Well, that's dumb.
It
I'm
is,
sorry.
but I think,
That's dumb. I mean, and we covered them when they first came out because they were new and novel, and now it's like, okay, we get it. We got it, Yeah,
yeah,
yep, we
yeah.
got it. So, I don't know. I don't know, that's where we're at. That's where I don't necessarily not necessarily sure we agree on that, but that's how this works.
That is how this works. I love that. And finally, in the news, if you enjoy our coverage of Jack Young and the work that he does identifying counterfeit coins, but you say, Mike, where can I find more on Jack and his work? Jack has a fairly new, but if I recall correctly, permanent home for his articles and projects now, and it's on Proxy Blog. So I
Proxyblog.org.
would invite you to go there and keep up with Jack and his work as it continues because we've really loved his project with eBay has stopped listening to him. It's like he should have been they should have hired him, and just let him pull auctions or given him some sort of authority to just do that.
Why
But
would they wanna do that?
they've decided to just stop listening to him.
Why would they
So
wanna do that and protect people? Jeez.
yeah, well, they cost money, right?
It's true.
So now Jack has moved over to Proxy Blog, and he does a lot of his stuff there. I wanted to give it a plug because I thought his work is worthwhile and it's really good. But
Let's look at this new one. Like Jack came up with a counterfeit 28 piece dollar in a really funky PCGS holder. Ugh.
yeah, I'd like to play liar's poker with that slab.
Right? That certain number's
Pretty
crazy.
nice.
But I mean, the coin itself from this far away doesn't look terrible as far as counterfeits go. It looks better than the average counterfeits we see in these. The thing that really stands out to me is the holder, the font, the size, the coloration. Does not look anywhere near correct.
What they call an arm's length gem.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not even.
Well, the slab looks wrong. The
No,
coin actually looks better than the slab.
correct. Normally, it's the other way around. Normally, the
Yeah.
slab's decent and the coin's garbage. But
Yeah. Oh, this coin actually looks like a really good counterfeit.
yeah. So then he shows us the original, what the original coin with that certain number is supposed to look like, and obviously we can tell that this is not that. And let's see, the online certification barcode reader looks like it brought up maybe the right barcode. Let me see here. Let's see what Jack says. Yeah, okay. The coin was purchased on eBay, it looks like, because of course it was.
Of course.
And then he found where the original source coin came from, AliExpress, where they sell them for $128 a piece for a coin that is worth thousands if it were genuine.
Right.
If that doesn't say deception, I don't know what does.
Well, I mean, that's somebody you really hurt bad.
Right. Looks like he found another one. Same holder,
Same number.
same number, different coin. Huh. So it looks like they're, trying to get better at making these.
As they seemingly are.
Yeah. And again, it comes in an e-packet from China because of course it does. That's how these things work.
Yes.
Absolutely nuts. So you can see what you get supposed to get on the top, and you see what you actually get on the bottom. Now in his bottom picture, the coin looks a lot faker, a lot more fake. Sorry, faker.
A lot faker.
A lot more fake than it's supposed to, because that coin in this picture is terrible.
Yeah, no, that looks awful, and for it to be in a 65 plus holder.
And you know what's funny? You know what's really funny? I think up here earlier when we were looking that they just took their garbage label. Yeah, they did, I think. Because this coin, we were saying how good this coin looks.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if that was the genuine coin.
That's the real coin, yeah, because it looks really good.
Yeah, they put their garbage label, like photoshopped it on the holder. Wow. They'll do anything to make a few bucks. It is insane what we are up against right now. Ugh. Yuck.
So anyway, so that's the news. And the news tonight was brought to us by Hiccups.
They
Nobody
might be
likes
listening.
us.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nobody likes us, so we're going to continue sneaking up on you just because. Hiccups. Don't ever step on the sponsor.
I'm sorry, sponsor. Hiccup Company. Hiccup Corporation.
Hiccups, man. They're going to come after you. We have a couple of new guests that have walked in. They're Frostbite coins.
Well, Frostbite said they are listening to Jack, and they might be. Like the Chinese might be. The people that are making the fake coins might be.
I think that's what he means is the people that are they're listening to him for tips on what the problem with their product is.
And I'm sure he does not report on everything that he knows about this stuff. You got to keep some stuff. Got to keep some stuff under the cuff because you can't give them everything, or then they'll fix it. So,
well, it's like when the Bureau of Engraving and Printing puts out a new bill.
Yep.
They don't tell you everything.
They don't tell you where the magnetic ink is. It's there. They don't tell you where.
Get that neodymium magnet out.
That's right.
It won't help.
That's right. So, you want to really address this elephant that was in the room now?
Yeah, I think now is the time.
Now is the time. So what do you think about this whole situation with them because they did not end the sentence forever?
Let's draw out what the facts are in this case. The facts of the case are this. President Trump has requested that the United States Mint stop producing pennies. Period.
Stop making them.
That's what he's asked. Now, is it within his constitutional authority? We don't know. Is it going to happen? Still don't know. All of this stuff will be seen. As far as 2025 production, January, they made 250 million pennies already. So, right, they're not going to be rare. I don't care what happens. They already made more cents in this year than they made nickels last year.
Well, yeah. And you know what, though? I have to show you something here because I can. But if you just happen to do a quick little search on eBay for 25 cents, they're going nuts.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're going nuts.
Until the mint sets come out.
Well, look, here's a roll of 2025Ds for $179. I mean, that's just nothing but speculation.
Oh, let's go and look at sold. Let's see what some of them sold for.
Let's just take a look and see if anybody's even paying these prices.
Because I'll bet you they are.
There's somebody that paid $3.29 for a 2025 cent. I don't see too many. Well, there's some
Maybe
rolls.
common sense is
There
prevailing.
you go. Look at this one.
Three
This was
rolls.
auction. 3 rolls of cents, $242.50.
That's insane.
So people are speculating. People think, oh, these are going to be rare. This is going to be a thing. It's coming. So, anyways, there you go. I just wanted to point that out.
So those are the facts of it. Now it's like, now the debate comes, do we, is America ready for this?
Well, maybe, but you got to think about. I have a couple thoughts about this, and I think this is how it's going to happen, and how it's going to happen legally, where they don't have to get congressional approval. I think they're going to become very much like the Kennedy half dollars, where they're made for collectors. They might get sold from the mint in rolls, maybe, and they'll still be in the proof sets. But as far as production for circulation, no more. I think that's
NIFC.
Yeah.
Right? Not intended for circulation.
Right. I think that's where we're at, because
and then at some point in the future it becomes easier to shoot the horse.
Because I think you can say, okay, well, they're mandated to be minted. Perfect. Well, we're going to mint them for this and this and this, and that's it. And so that stops the congressional approval to stop them forever.
Right.
But they can get away with not making them. And I think that's where we're at. I think that's what we're going to see.
I don't think there's any huge lobby that's saying, no, give us back our, I don't think that's happening.
Oh yeah, no, the A&A is not banging down the door of the White House saying, you better start making these pennies again. It's not happening. But, it's kind of a sad day for us coin nerds. Like we're coin weenies. We like this stuff. So, I don't know. What about penny slots? Of course.
Gambler's checking in.
Yeah, so, right? You get your VaultBox, buddy?
No, but I mean, that's so. I mean, at the end of the day, if you see
it happening any other way, though? Like,
no, because it's like maybe this finally kickstart some change to help us at least cut back on cents.
Well, we've been reporting for years how much seniorage they lose on these things. I mean, it's not a new thing.
And dollar bills. But I think it all has to start someplace. So the least amount of pain is in the cent.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously the nickel's next, because they bring, it's the same thing. They cost more to produce than they actually are, their face value. I think they're just going through everything right now with a fine-tooth comb, saying, okay, where are we wasting money? And, these are just,
so, and not necessarily true. If you just mint more dimes, you're going for a dollar amount, not a not filling an order.
I don't know. It's one of those things that everybody's been saying it, and funny is, people were really divided about this. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I think it's not a bad idea. We should get rid of the penny. Canada did it, and they're just fine. Look at them. And then you have other people that are like, oh, well, I think we need penny. Maybe they're just going to make it out of some other thing, and they're going to revamp them.
To make it out of.
I know that, but maybe they're going to revamp them and make them and do something else, or it's hard to say. And
look,
are we a step closer to being able to melt copper pennies? Yes, I think we are.
I have long said that, very simply, if you're really going to be efficient about it and you're going to keep the cent, cheaper than minting them is to recall them at banks and pay 1.5 cents for them.
Yeah,
they will come out of the woodwork, and people will dump them, and then you'll have all the cents that you need. But I digress.
For a while.
Yeah. But, I think that's the first step. That's what you really do, is you do that so that you draw them all out.
And a lot of countries
and you discontinue.
And I think a lot of people are kind of a little leery as well, because a lot of countries use things like this to kind of knock a zero off of their monetary system to kind of, keep up with inflation and kind of curb inflation a little bit. And so I think a lot of people are kind of looking at us getting rid of our smallest denomination that everything is based on, as us potentially knocking off that zero off the end. And It's hard to say, but some people look at it like that as well. So,
Well, I mean, if you look at it from an inflationary standpoint, right? That's what people are worried about, is if we lose an order of magnitude, everything's gonna go up by an order of magnitude.
yeah, that's what people are worried about. I mean, they may not be wrong. They may not be right either, but uh, it's there's a lot of different moving parts here that I am not nearly smart enough to understand. I'm a coin guy. I
So
like
I'm
coin.
not sure about your question, Paul, as far as who's losing. I mean, are you talking about why they would stop making the cent? Yeah, taxpayers are footing the bill for making something that costs more than it does, more than it's worth. But at the same time, if you produce them not for circulation, you could charge whatever you want for the rolls. Look at the women on quarters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, they'll find a way to make them profitable if it's
Right.
possible, and I think that's the way to do it. They'll sell rolls, BU rolls at $15 or $10, whatever it is, for 50 cents a coin, so then they'll sell the proof sets and the mint sets, and that'll be how you get them.
Now, I also don't think that this is the signal of a move to 100% digital, because there will always be a use for cash. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I actually think that we do so many transactions digitally. Like I said, it's like, you're just going to use a credit card and it's going to go by the penny anyway.
Right.
Those are digital cents. Trust me, they're not going to give up on anything that makes them money.
Paul says, the government does not fund the mint, and yes, you're right in a way, but the problem is the mint is part of the government, so technically they
Right.
do.
And the profit that the mint makes goes back to the government. So
Right.
anytime they lose profit on purpose, they're losing money.
Right, exactly. They don't necessarily fund the mint. The mint is self-sufficient, but yeah, it definitely goes the other way. They're looking at something they're missing out on. I get it. So it's hard to say. It's really interesting. I was watching the Super Bowl when that happened, and I just happened to look down at my phone and saw that news story come through, and it was really interesting. And yeah, so here we are. It's a weird time in coins. It's a weird time in the world, but yeah.
Yes. No, it's definitely, but look, there is enough to lose your mind about going on right now, right? The
Right.
cent is not really it. It's
Hey,
not the story
if
that people.
if us fretting about losing the cent is the worst thing that happens to us right now, good with it. Whatever.
And Paula, only a part good. No, actually, all the profit from the mint is turned over.
Over their operating expenses is turned
Yes.
over. Yeah. Yep.
So
Very interesting.
Lawyer says, I think people are making too big a deal out of it. That's what I was trying to do with this discussion, was narrow it back down to, look, what are the facts? Because people are injecting the politics into it, and then they're making the discussion. And I think that if you take the politics out of it and you just look at the facts of what's going on, that you can have a much more intelligent conversation about it. Because to be honest with you, look,
Friend, this show is nothing but intelligent conversations. I don't know what you're talking about.
except for the part that I do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, but whatever. But it's just really interesting to hear everybody's thoughts on it. I have my own thoughts. We've been hearing it in the coin shop all week. I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
It's very interesting to see what. And the next question is, what's that going to do to cents themselves as a collectible? Is it going to cause the other cents to increase, or did your SVDB just go up 20%? I mean, what are we looking at here?
Okay, so let me opine on this really quick. Is it going to lessen the number of rolls of 1950s era memorial sets and wheat packs?
No.
I don't think it's going to have an impact then.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but if the program guys get a hold of it,
Rusty's with me too.
but if the program guys get a hold of it and start putting out all sorts of different cent sets, they're going to need more cents, and guess what that means? They'll have to pay more for them. So that means that the prices will go up. So it's hard to say what we're looking at. I think it's going to be a little while before that trickles down, while the program guys get their act together and see what they want to market. And also, as the news breaks, if this is actually going to be the end of the cent or if it's just a temporary thing, I mean, we don't know.
Call me old.
Oh, you're old.
And call me jaded.
You're jaded.
I am. But I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime. And to be honest with you, it may not happen in yours.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say.
That's
It's
the
hard to
thing
say, but
is all these things seem like hair on fire at the time, and then they take forever.
this is this is pretty big news just for simply coin's sake, because it's the last major coin change we had was when? Like, when was the last time we either brought out a really new denomination
1965.
or
They
took
took
away?
the silver out of the coinage. That's
Yeah.
it, because they weren't even sure if people were going to accept clad coinage.
I mean, we fiddled around with the dollar coin a couple times with the Susan B. Anthony's and the Eisenhowers and the presidentials and the
Yeah, but
Bank
those
of
were real
American.
changes.
Well, I was
Right.
talking about new denomination, like a new denomination. In the 70s, they came out with the Ike dollars. That was a new denom because they had stopped them. They had stopped them way back in 35. And then in 70s, they decided, you know what, we're going to bring another one out for circulation. We need this coin. So that was probably the last change I can think of. Was the early 70s with the advent of the Ike dollar. Or maybe the $2 bill. Casey's Coin Guy says $2 bill. Again,
Well, I mean, that's all the 1970s. It's all right in that same area, and it's because
so if you look at it,
they got handcuffed after the Mint Act of '64, right?
I get
You
it.
had 3 years where there's no mint marks on any coins.
I was just
They
saying that
killed
people are like, well, it's not that big of a deal. Well, it kind of is, because this is really the first monetary change that we've had since the early 70s. That's the only reason that I'm making anything of it, is because if you look at it that way, it's kind of a big deal. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that the bigger change came in '65, and that's just because, like I said, when you're not sure if people are even going to accept the currency, that really, I mean, to the point where they made side by side silver and clad coinage for a year and a half.
Just to be doubly sure that they were actually going to fly. Yeah.
Right.
Well, interesting conversation. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and giving us your insight. I think that's really cool.
And I think this is a really good point. People who aren't coin collectors are talking about coins, and that is good for the hobby.
That is true. They are starting to look at their pennies. So I
We
can't
had,
argue with that logic.
Yeah, we had a student from DePaul, a journalism student, come in this week and wanted to ask us about stuff like that and what we thought it was going to happen. And look, there's no shortage of opinions on what kind of impact this is going to have, but nobody's got. Well, I do have a crystal ball. It's back there, but it doesn't really work.
That's funny. Well, friend, are you ready to get? Well, hold on. I got to get this set up real quick.
I was going to say, I don't think that's the way it's going to work out, but.
I wasn't finished. Hold on. Let me get myself ready here. Okay. I think we're good.
Okay. Are you guys ready for a brawl?
Friend, are you ready to have a knockout, drag out, knockdown, whatever fight we're getting ready to have with these awesome coins that we're bringing?
If it's about coins, absolutely.
All right. Well, let me get yours pulled up here. You can start.
Ooh.
And oh yeah,
you got an intro for us?
Yeah, I do. Hold on. This one? Nope. This one? And yeah, okay, there it is. All right. We'll start this one over.
All right.
I love these. I love it that we're editing it now. We can go back and do this. It's the best. All right, buddy. Are you ready for this? I'm gonna take you down.
Maybe. Says you.
Maybe. All right, time for a coolest thing.
Time for the deep voice guy.
And now for the coolest thing to walk in this week. A competition segment between Matt and Mike to see who's had the coolest thing walk into their shops. Who'll win this episode? Let's find out. Matt? Mike? Who's got the coolest thing?
Okay, so one of the, I think, real advantages to working in the shop that I do is that we have all kinds of experts and all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And so that does give me a really, really wide variety of stuff to choose from. This is
pretty cool.
This is really cool. This is a Henry VIII one Sav from somewhere between 1544 and 1547.
Look at that griffin on the back.
Guy This is Henry VIII. I am. And I mean, just the condition of the coin. It's it's AU 55. It's about the size of a silver dollar,
Yeah.
and it weighs less
Oh.
than half an ounce.
12.8 grams. Yep.
Yeah, less than half an ounce. So it's not like a really impressive coin, but from that day, this was a huge coin. And just, I mean, come on, think about the history of this is Henry VIII.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I like it. The coin too. It's got him sitting on the crown with the royal. I think it's a crown there next to him, or maybe a scepter or something. Just all sorts of fun royal implements.
Yeah,
And then
they're
on the back of it, you have the
they
shield, and you have that awesome griffin on the right hand side. That thing's cool. And then you got a weird kind of emaciated looking lion. That guy's not quite as cool as that cool griffin, but
I
that's a
forget
pretty
what
cool
what
piece.
it belongs to. I think it's the Griffin of Edward or something like that.
That's a pretty cool coin.
So that is about as cool as it gets,
Yep, almost as cool as what I brought.
says you.
Yeah. If you guys have been paying attention to my socials and the socials for the show, I made a little short about this piece that walked into my shop, and I just wanted to talk about it a little more. It's that stinking cool.
Hold on one second, because we have one question. David Donahue asks, what would be the comparable spending power of that coin? It's one sovereign. So a sovereign was a lot of money back then. It was like a week's salary. It's I mean, I'm honestly, I can't speak to exactly during that time period what it was worth, but I do know that it was a very large amount of money.
Yeah.
That was not something you would find on the average person.
All right. So what I brought was this set of wooden medals. Now you say wooden, and I say yes. These are
Don't take any wooden nickels.
Yeah, no, these aren't wooden nickels, but these are from the 1876 Expo, and these are a complete set of the wooden medals that were issued during the show. You could buy the set, and they are made from pressed wood. Now, you say pressed wood, how the heck did they do that? Well, they took these pucks of wood, and they put them in boiling water until they got nice and soft, and then they would actually use dies, just like they were striking a coin or a metal, and they would press the wood. So they're pressed wood tokens. They're made from a hardwood, it looks like. I'm not quite sure which. But they have, different things from the 1876 Expo on them. And the coolest part is the original box. I have had these medals individually. Maybe not all of them, but I've had several of them. I have never, ever seen the original box for these things. This is the first one I've ever even seen, let alone owned.
What's the lining made out of? Is it cardboard or is it?
Yeah, it's cardboard. The box is all cardboard, and this one is being held together with a little bit of tape. But you know what? Again, I've never even seen another one. I've never even seen another one. So imagine that. It has all the different hulls that they have the medals for there. Just an absolutely freaking cool piece of stuff. I thought you guys would like to see it. I was happy to buy it.
Where was this exhibition?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
It was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Centennial exhibition.
Yep. And it was I don't know if it was a World's Fair. I don't know if they call it the World's Fair. They called it an exhibition. Yeah, this was a Centennial Expo. And the fact that this thing even survived, you have something that normally coins and medals aren't made out of, which is wood, which is fragile enough on its own, and then this stinking box is made out of cardboard, and it was made in 1876. So, yeah, I thought it was cool. That's why I said this is going to be a knockout, drag down battle, because both of these things are freaking cool.
I will tell you, this is impressive. These are very, very cool, and the way that they're made, just the uniqueness of it. I have to give you props. They're very, very neat.
Yes.
So now we're going to find out what everybody else thinks, and we will go to our Friends of the Coin Show podcast, where the unnamed source will post a poll.
Yep.
And you guys can vote for one or both.
That's right. You vote for both.
You can't vote for both.
Yeah.
We found that out. So, I'm from Chicago. Vote early, vote often.
Vote early, vote often, vote after you're dead.
That's right.
That's right.
So that puts a very nice bow on episode 243.
Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. We're closing in on 250.
Semi
Yeah, semi-quincentennial.
You know,
Hey, we're going to get there before the country does, though.
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah,
I
no,
think
we
so.
will.
Well,
Maybe we'll
243.
get
We got
there. We might get
7 more.
there the 4th of July.
Yeah. Wow. Cool.
Yeah. So
Do an outdoor episode.
that would be very cool.
Sitting around barbecuing, fireworks.
Yeah, drones.
Yeah, we may have to get together. We'll do it in the summer. We may have to like get together and actually do the episode together.
Okay.
Somewhere. I'm not sure where, but
so if you're going to be in Atlanta, check out Russ at the ANA National Money Show. If you're going to be in Baltimore,
we'll be there.
We will be there. We will be at the Baltimore Whitman Expo next month in March. And we're going to be there for the whole show. So stop by, see us, it's like say hi, interrupt the show, because that's what people like to do.
We're already cooking up some fun stuff.
Yeah. We do need some requests for interviews though. So if there are people that you guys want us to talk to, just, send us a note and tell us who you'd like us, or you can comment in the, in the comments who you'd like to see on it, because, we last time we were there, it's like we hit a lot of the big names. I get Bob.
It was like we might get one of those guys a year, and we got 6 of them in 3 days. So,
right. So now, when you take the Hall of Fame off of your wish list, it's like, okay, there's still lots of people to talk to.
Yeah, Dave Kahn, great recommendation.
John Baumgart, there you go.
There you go. See, you guys send those. Either send them here, send them to our emails, post them in the social group. Whatever you guys want to do. We would be happy to try to acquiesce to any of those requests and talk to these awesome people. So we could definitely try to get content with those guys. So
yeah, I'd like to get somebody like David McCarthy on.
Yeah,
the problem is he's from San Francisco, so he generally is not going to be in Baltimore.
Yeah.
But it's like it's always cool to see who we can get, and I love meeting new people, and I'm not shy. I'll walk right up to them.
Yeah, if you're going to be there, I know last time we were there, I remember somebody saying that they didn't want to come up to us because they were shy or we were doing something. Come say hi. Please.
I don't think Bill Fiva.
No,
I don't think that's going to happen, Eric. Sorry.
So,
on that note, we'd like to thank everybody who showed up. The 5 people that liked us out of the 40 that showed up, 5 people like the teaming 10. Thank you. We love you. We love everybody. But thanks for coming. Thank you to all the people that help put this together. Thanks to Justin. Thanks to Barry and to Corey and to Ernesto and to Russ and to Leanna and just everybody in our orbit that works really, really hard to help us put this together. If you get a chance, Frostbite Coins has a really cool chat show on Saturdays and Sunday mornings. You should check in on what he does. It's always really cool. He does roll hunting. He does a lot of other things. He's been having Paul on from Live Coin Q&A. They're around. And I think that's pretty much what I got.
All right, buddy. Well.
And don't forget, after this, go hang out in Whatnot at Tina Silverstacker's. Just go and put another 40 people in his Whatnot and watch it just spike.
Yeah.
And then when he says, "Wow, we're really," then just say Coin Show Podcast.
Or say Matt loves you.
Yeah, Matt love you.
Matt loves you. Love Matt. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, Matt. It's like the music that you make and the stuff that you do. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Check us out on social media and join us. 2 weeks next week?
We're looking 2 weeks.
We're looking 2 weeks.
Yep.
Okay, join us 2 weeks. We're probably going to do a hangout, and if you have any more commentary about the scent, feel free to drop us a line. We will definitely address it.
We'll do it.
Love you.
For the Coin Show.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Matt.
And we'll talk to you next time on the Coin Show Podcast.
I know it ends, but it ends well. Let's all get together. We'll sing louder than we've ever. 'Cause this isn't forever, but forever ain't tonight. 'Cause we got tomorrow, no matter how hard you try. This isn't forever. While we're singing our song, we forget that it's ending. It's that its purpose, it's the worthiest thing we do. 'Cause this isn't and forever, but forever ain't tonight. And we've got tomorrow, 'cause this isn't forever, but forever ain't tonight. And we've got tomorrow, this isn't forever. This isn't the end. Until next time, until next time, until next time. This isn't the end.